trying to make this thing race certified, and Michael installed the bucket seats.
Yes.
Do you want to show me?
No, here, wait. You know what? Let's just open the door so we can see the seat here.
Thank you.
We got
Those bucket seats.
bucket seats. They're pretty safe, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like you get in an accident in this, you're dead.
Okay, disclaimer time. Not just for the lawyers, but I don't want people to look at our videos and be like, oh, this is the way you do it. This is the safe way. Because I could promise you, there's a lot of things that we're doing that are not safe. And the reason for that, I mean, I grew up in a junkyard. Jonathan's been a fabricator since he was 12, I think. And, you know, it's not good habits that we've built over the years. So these are not habits that we want you to use. But I also want to inspire people to like rebuild these cars and like make them cool and like do crazy fabrication. So, you know, let this inspire you. But if you actually follow through with doing this, like you need to talk to a professional. You need to look up the actual safety guidelines, because what we're doing is really dangerous. And I definitely missed some safety precautions and took some risks. Those are risks that I'm willing to take, but I don't want to see anybody else take those risks without fully understanding what to do. So talk to a professional. Yeah, Jonathan's not even wearing shoes right now in the metal shop. This is so bad. Talk to somebody who's professional. They will tell you how to do it safely, but do not look at our videos as like how it should be done. Jonathan, I'm coming with the GoPro. So Jonathan, tell me what you're doing here.
I am burning down a BMW. Ah, there's a fire.
We managed to not catch it on fire again.
Oh, had it on fire like 3 or 4 times.
Oh, never mind. I lied. Okay, so yeah, fender's cut out. A little sharp and jagged. We tried turning the wheels, but it doesn't really turn because we have to hammer that piece out. We got to hammer this out, which looks like it's rubbing stock, like from the stock wheel already. So this isn't us. We haven't even moved it. So that's really got to be hammered out or cut. So that'll be fun. Back here, all this stuff is cut. Maybe we'll like stitch weld it. I don't know. Maybe leave it till last. Hopefully it's not too bad. We'll see. And then yeah, that's about it for the updates today. We're about to bend the first bar. And if you're curious, oh what? Nah, I just go by eye. Who needs markings? No, I got my markings on here. See, CL for center line. Start a bend 38 degrees, start a bend 38 degrees, so bending it outwards on both sides. But yeah, so the first bar I cut out of the new metal. So, hashtag new metal. Yeah, I don't know what else. I'm about to bend some tube. Are you excited to bend some tube, Jonathan? Okay, I don't think you heard me, but this is awkward. Oh no, I can't recover from this. I'm just gonna bend it. Yeah, the Gambler build is just so crazy. Basically, we had to keep doing more and more and cutting off more stuff. And yeah, we wound up taking off the front bumper because we wanted to make room for the winch and skid plates and tow points and really have a solid place to mount to. And also, if I run into anything, it would be nice if it's a little bit more stronger. And so what we did was we got to, I think it was, 1 3/4 tube. And I 3D scanned the car and threw it into Blender and then figured out where to make the bends. But then, when we were bending it, we just decided to do something different. So we had to do it off the cuff and just keep making different measurements and trying to really figure out how to make it fit. Yeah, I think we need to do the 38 degrees, or I think we need more on each side. So yeah, we put it on the bender, and we had some problems with like the dies not working, but eventually we got all of that figured out. Started bending it, and then we had to bend it, put it on the car, test it, then bend it again, put it on the car, test it, get the winch out, and see if that'll all fit. Look at this. It fits perfect. Actually, like really perfect. So I think we could just like weld it somewhere like this.
Yeah, eventually we got the bins right to where we wanted to put it, and we were like, cool, okay, like let's start to weld it. But then we had this big discussion on should we bolt the bumper to the car or should we just weld the bumper to the car? And I know in my Subaru, I bolted it on because I wanted to be able to take it off for maintenance or if there's any issues or maybe even toss it onto a different car. But then I'm like, wait, this car is a junkyard car that's already halfway demolished. So like, you know, if I need to take the bumper off, let's just take the Sawzall and cut it. Oh wait, that was Jonathan's idea. I wanted to bolt it, but yeah, we wound up with welding, and I think that was the right decision afterwards. And then it was time for the first test drive.
So we made it out to the forest. This is Thumb Butte if y'all want to look it up. And yeah, we're out on the dirt trail. This is the first test run, and we are 3 weeks from leaving. So I hope everything works and doesn't break. Otherwise, it's going to be like a panic to try to fix it. But we'll see. I'm gonna take it a bit rough, and hopefully if something's gonna break, it's gonna break now, because we don't want to drive it to Oregon and then have it break. So yeah, we gotta figure that out. There is some clunking in the suspension, although I figured it out. The lower arm, I think we have to replace that, because the ball joint is so loose. So hopefully we don't lose that. But yeah, it did pretty well. It is really droney in there, and there's a squeak from the suspension because the strut mount is too far that way. Or there's like a washer, and yeah. So I gotta fix that, because it is bad. But yeah, so far it's holding up. I'm really shocked that, you know, a car that we pulled out that was gonna go to the scrapyard is actually running and driving. And yeah, hopefully we don't get stuck because our recovery vehicle's a Prius. This is the first off-road test drive. You can hear the squeaking, it's pretty bad. I wanna just do a test and see how good it climbs.
Yeah, you're just digging in.
Okay, this is not working like I thought. We can't climb any hills because of our open differential.
Time to weld the diff.
Yeah, rock climbing is gonna be really difficult. I think the handbrake mod has to happen. Yeah, it's doing pretty good. I'm really surprised. It's got enough torque to do whatever we need it to do. Which that's what I was like really afraid about, was like just not having the torque, you know? But besides the one wheel spinning, it actually, like, it's really good. Okay, so we're gonna try the rear reverse gear climb. So this is the same spot we were. Okay, so we're completely stopped. We're at a pretty big hill. Let's see if it could overcome this. You gonna place a bet on it? Do you think we can make it? Do you think it'll climb up that?
It's a really bad front wheel drive now, so who knows?
I don't think it will, honestly. We're so low weight in the back.
Yeah, we're not doing it.
We have no torque in reverse. That's gonna
Whatever
be
torque we do have goes straight into the sand.
that's gonna be really bad, because sometimes you need reverse.
This is what winches are for.
Yeah, so we did a bunch of runs. We did like an hour of testing, going back and forth in the dirt. And I am so impressed. I actually thought we were gonna break down. And ironically, the other gambler car broke down as well, Popeye. But this one, yeah, it's doing just fine. Engine feels strong, everything feels strong. So yeah, I think we're gonna keep going at the fabrication. I'm gonna plan like a big off-road trip with this thing. And you know, really put it through its paces to make sure, hopefully this weekend. And yeah, this is so exciting. This is why I spent every day working on this for this, driving on the dirt roads, and it just feels insane. It's so cool. Oh, look at it, just taking these bumps like nothing. Like, my ride is more comfortable than my Subaru. Well, until you bottom out the suspension, then it's not. But I would say, yeah, maybe it's the bigger bump stops. I don't know, but it's like, just handles it. But we'll definitely have to reinforce the top hats because I don't think it's gonna last very long doing this. So yeah, and I really smell fuel. So we gotta fix that fuel leak problem as well. So crazy handbrake idea. Well, the problem is we have an open differential and it's gonna send all the power to the spinning diff, which I thought would be like kind of important, but we took it test driving today and it's now like high priority importance because I could not really climb stuff with the open diff. So we could either spend a lot of money and put a limited slip in, which would take a lot of work and money, or we could weld the axle, but online they say if you have really big street tires and you drive it on the street, that the CV axles will break. And I'm like, well, don't want to risk that because reliability is better than anything off-roading. Because even if you get stuck, like it's better to still be able to go. If we break a CV axle, we're pretty screwed. Or we do manual, what do you call it? Crawl control? I don't know, basically 2 handbrakes, a handbrake for each wheel. And so if we get stuck, I'll just have the co-pilot start yanking on random handbrakes and we should be able to get unstuck. So we'll see how that goes. So today I'm working on the dual handbrake idea. I don't even know how loud I'm talking because I got the headphones on. But I'm installing, this car's turning more and more super because I have a ton of super parts. But yeah, it's getting a Subaru handbrake in there, which would be really funny because yeah, then we'll have the dual handbrakes, one for each wheel to get up these rocks. So that's gonna be a fun little project. Yeah, here's the idea. This one's gonna hopefully bolt into the same spot as the other one. I hope. Actually, no, it looks like it's absolutely not gonna work. But I could drill another hole. So I'm trying to figure out the distance here, because this is definitely not the BMW handbrake. If you come on one of these off-road trips, just be like, whoa! As I'm like flooring it.
We went back and forth on the fender spacers for so long. We're like, okay, should we add like wheel flares or should we space out the whole fender? And I'm like, I really like this idea of spacing out the whole fender, you know, like this like really like do-it-yourself wide body kit and space it out with the road signs too. And yeah, we went back and forth for so long. And then we figured, oh wait, with the roll cage, we could tie the roll cage into the strut. And then that gap in between the hood and the fender that'd be created with these fender spacers would allow the roll cage to come out and up and over. And we're like, huh, okay, so we can tie it all together by spacing these fenders out, putting the roll cage in between that gap. And then that way, you know, it'd be cool. You could see the whole thing. Yeah, so we add the fender spacers using road signs, and that way it covers the wheel well as well, so we don't have rocks fly up and damaging things or other people. So that was a really good call there.
What's happening over here? Mark, I'm just cutting stuff off. He's just cutting stuff off.
I just like using it. Oh your God, what are we doing?
Yeah, well, check this out.
I asked twice for permission, all right?
I gave him full,
Okay.
oh yeah.
I don't keep this. It's not great, but I don't need it.
Oh, yes. See? So that's the main aluminum skid plate for the front. This is the steel stuff. Here's the skid plate mounts, and there's the gussets.
Okay, and what's this out of?
Oh, like the metal?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I know that's aluminum and that's metal.
Aluminum's metal.
Oh, butts. That's aluminum and that's like not aluminum.
Okay.
That's whatever the stiff stuff is. See, this is what happens when you have a game developer trying to fabricate. I'm dying. This is why you don't build a car in summertime
In Arizona?
in Arizona. That was a really bad idea.
But yeah, so we keep adding the armor to the car. There's like so much armor we added to the car. So working on the skid plates, because, you know, it's one thing to lift a car and add more ground clearance, but no matter how much you lift the car or do whatever with the car, that you're always gonna like hit the bottom of it because you're just gonna do bigger stuff the more that it's lifted. And I really don't want to be scared with stuff hitting the bottom of this BMW because like there's automatic transmission pan, there's the oil pan, which fun fact, that oil pan, all the BMW people want because you could add a different engine to a different car and you can only do that with that oil pan. So it's like a 400 euro oil pan. Yeah, so I didn't want to risk breaking the oil pan, so spent a lot of time adding these skid plates and making sure that the mounts are reinforced. I'm so bad at measuring things. I messed up the skid plate so many times. I wound up putting 3 different holes in it, or 3 different sets of holes. So that was fun, but eventually got it to fit.
So he did a thing.
I messed up.
Care to tell the audience what you did and what they shouldn't do?
I put the bend in the wrong place because you should always measure twice, bend once. And I measured once and bent.
And drilled.
And drilled.
How many times have you messed up now?
Well, there's proof in the pudding right here. This is mark number 1, that was bad. Number 2, that was bad. So this is number 3. Which I'm hoping will be okay. It's not gonna be okay.
Yeah, welded the winch to the front bumper, tied it into everything, and then adding the winch controllers and switches, and just make sure everything is nicely like polished.
Turn the camera on first.
Yeah, dang it. You just missed my monologue. What the heck?
Teaching Jared to bend. Take 1.
Teaching Jared the bend. Take 1. I like how we could just go through the car. Moment of truth. I'm actually pretty nervous. 'Cause this is a lot of fight. Oh, would you look at that? So if anybody wants us to make him a cage, $10,000. That's it?
And then we add the roll cage. And the reason for doing this like half roof roll cage, I really wanted to be able to put on super heavy loads, like in case we find a big piece of trash out in the forest that we could load on whatever. Plus I wanted to turn it kind of into a truck. So, you know, the back end you could put in like the cargo boxes, and then on top of it, you have this roof rack that you could put anything else on. So we could just have unlimited cargo. And then the bonus thing too is that for some reason we actually rolled a car, that would be a lot safer. And the other thing as well is the rigidity of the car. So I was a bit worried about off-roading and, you know, basically loosening the unibody. So that happened to my Subaru. I've off-roaded it so much, I can't even close the tailgate if the car is twisted at all, you know, on the terrain. So didn't want the BMW to go through the same thing. So yeah, added rigidity there. And then of course, you know, anytime you could add rigidity to the main cabin space, I'm all down for that because it's safer. I hope. I don't know if there's a crash test engineer, like, please comment. And then finally, we're ready for another test drive.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be so itchy. On a scale do I look itchy?
Not yet.
I'm gonna be so rashy later. That was a really bad call. So learn from my mistake. Don't lay on a fiberglass sheet. Freaking terrible idea. Doesn't fit.
Experience.
See,
Terrible.
it fits.
Holy shit.
It fits like a really loose glove.
And the good news is you know where to cut it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Jared. Hey, Michael, tell us a joke. You're the joke man. So, Michael, what are you working on in there?
Drilling holes for things, you know, magical things.
You like to drill holes?
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
There's nothing holes can't fix, you know.
Oh, exactly.
Get rid of all the mess up.
Yeah, when in doubt, drill it out.
So unfortunately, Jared had some game stuff to do. So I am working on doing some random bits and bops. So one of the things I did is I added a temporary toggle switch. So we have a winch for tomorrow because me and him are gonna go do a beat the hell out of this poor car so that we can make sure that it actually is going to continue running or see what's gonna break on it. So that's what we're gonna do tomorrow. So the winch is all wired up and actually functioning. I wired up the kill switch as well. And now I'm running the wire for the interior winch remote. So we could turn the winch on and off from inside the cab, because that would be really nice as well to do. So I'm running that as well. And then I'm gonna button the inside up so I can get all the plastics all back together. Once I get that center piece, I'll mount it down and make sure that doesn't go anywhere. And yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. So have fun watching.
Are you excited to take this thing off-roading, Michael?
I'm excited to beat the hull of this thing.
Yeah. Okay, update number 2. We smell a lot of fuel. I have another fuel gasket coming because this one's cracked and I thought it would work. Apparently it does not.
Just not at all.
No.
We did a little bit of slaloms and it very much leaked everywhere.
I'm pretty sure the pickle jar was a lot better. Whee! 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 Yeah, keep in mind, we have really modified the suspension geometry, so if things get wild, like we start drifting, it might not handle very
I'm
well.
not going that hard. We're going like 35 around these. This is like, I think a 20, I think. We're going 25, maybe 30.
I'm just a bit worried about my mechanical excellence.
We are very much testing that right now.
Yeah. You know what I'm really shocked about? Like in episode 1, I'm like, we're gonna break down a lot and we're gonna need to use the tow trucks a lot, but we haven't broken down. Like
Not a single time.
Not a single time. I was able to get it home every single time. We also want to make sure we don't go too low and dent these rare rims, because they are rare. Oh, nice. Yeah, so we should have enough armor on this thing that we're okay. And yeah, Michael does off-road recovery for a living, so I trust his judgment on rocks. I'm
gonna hit all the rocks.
All
We're gonna
the
break
rocks.
stuff.
We're
gonna break stuff.
Oh, God. Oh, Michael. Oh, Lordy. So you know what really sucks? We're really far from the car.
Yeah, we have so much hiking to do now. But we're gonna have to do this on the side repair, you know? Because we can't get this back out.
Yeah, well, we just need, I mean, I've been in this situation before on a Subaru trail run, and what we had to do is we had to get a high lift jack because it was the only thing that would lift it high enough. Then
I'm probably gonna have to drive it forward more.
well, we could try, I mean, we do have this jack with us. So if we get it in the socket, we could drive it up there, drive it back into town, and then take my car.
Oh, this is the end right up here.
Yeah, it's the end.
Wow, we almost made it all the way to the top. That's amazing, because look at this, like, this is not like a little bit. And I hit this hard.
Yeah.
And it did pretty good. We just need to work on fixing that.
Dang. We're just really far from a car. I don't think we have a jack capable of putting this back in.
Hey, Jared.
Michael.
Hey, we found the limit.
Yeah?
Yeah, rubber grommets.
Yeah.
That's the limit.
Oh man, we're gonna have to take the struts back off and put some steel ones in.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna want to do that. Because if we put a better hat on this, it's gonna make a huge difference. Because this hat is just, it was just rubber. So, like, this part's all fine. It was just this piece.
Yeah.
So if we can find a rubber hat, we're set. Like, that's all, or not rubber, make a steel hat, we'd be set. So that's probably why this got torn off really bad, is because this was the side that was really destroyed and messed up. Like this side was abused. So that's probably why this gave out. But upgrades to make it better, faster, stronger.
But yeah, luckily Michael does off-road recovery, so he knew what to do really quickly. And I had an idea too. We were just like, okay, we have to stuff this strut back into the car. And what wound up happening with the strut is the metal part from the strut ripped out from the top hat. So basically the rubber was so old that the rubber separated from the metal. And so because of that, the strut was able to pop out of the car. And then the strut is basically like an upper A-arm in the suspension, or it supports the upper part of the suspension. So then the wheel was able to flop out. And I figured it was going to be such a big disaster because, you know, the linkages weren't made to do that. All the weight of the car, you know, was on this wheel that was popped out. And we were moving forward, so I'm like, oh, everything's got to be bent, like subframes, linkages, all this type of stuff. But I didn't want to worry about any of that. We just needed to, like, stuff things back together and then get going back home. So, yeah, we used the jack. We undo the spacer on the strut. That way we could pop it in easier. So we push the strut back into the car and then use a ratchet strap to tie the strut to the top hat again. Well, it wasn't tied directly to the top hat, but at least like tie the strut to the car so it doesn't pop out. And yeah, literally like this strut is ratchet strapped to the car. And then we add the wheel back in, lower the car. We're like, we gotta drive it real carefully. Even where we were at, we decided to just winch, because if we add throttle at that point, it could pop out, because a ratchet strap is really weak for a strut. I'm like, oh no. So yeah, we winch it out and we have a long drive back into town.
Jonathan, are you ready to hear the bad news? It's not good. It's really not good. We broke something pretty bad. Okay, so I want you to take a look.
What?
I want you,
Oh look, fender spacers.
do you see anything wrong?
Hey, yeah. I mean, no, not really.
No, you don't see anything wrong. You wanna see?
Is that what I told you would happen?
Yeah, well your spacer's out there. Actually it held up, it was fine. That wasn't really the issue. But the only thing holding the shock in right now is this ratchet snap. Well, the shock ripped out of there and then came out of here, and so the whole wheel was like, the upper part was disconnected from the body. We kind of bent a lot.
Of course, you don't have the strut brakes.
Well, I don't know if that was it. I think we used crappy strut mounts. But yeah, so this ripped out and then it came back and like just crunched. It was like, I was like, Michael, the fender's lifting up. And then I look at him, I'm like, Michael, the tire's not where the tire's supposed to be. So we had a gambler guy fixing the fender because he knows how to fix a gambler style. So we're getting that done. See, we don't need a new fender. We just need a hammer. Nada. Ah, smoke. Ah. So, Michael.
Yes.
Michael, please tell us what happened.
It started smoking
Again.
and that's really hot. That got hot fast. Jesus.
That's so funny. We have another fire.
It was a small fine. It's fine.
This is a weird angle. I just want to say for the record, if this car dies, it's gonna be a fire. We're gonna burn it to the ground again. But like it's just,
100%. If anything is gonna happen, it's fire.
that's like the 5th, 6th wiring fire that we've had on this car, and this part wasn't even from this car.
Yeah, this was actually like a decent thing.
Cheap.
Yeah. Okay, so, Jared, I'm gonna blind you. Be prepared. Don't stare into the light, please.
Oh, I like the light.
You ready?
Yeah. Ah! It works.
Oh yeah. It all works too. What? How was your experience there,
I
Jared?
can't see anything, Jonathan. Oh, Michael.
I'm not Jonathan.
I'm blind. I can't tell if you're Jonathan or Michael.
I don't know which one you are.
Who are you?
So, just had to do a little bit of TLC because that one got stripped because these bolts are made of clay metal apparently because they were awful. So that is staying there now. Maybe I could pull it out and pry it out. But yeah, we just want to make sure all these function, and they do. So we're good there. I still kept the little housing unit. So the housing unit is fine, so we can still have all of our reflectors. It just won't be secured right there. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
So, update time. We got a lot done. There's bars for hooking stuff up, working on the toe points, that down. Roll cage has gussets. Ooh, I forgot to weld that one. Okay, I need to weld that one. And then working our way to the front, Michael's adding waterproof switch for the winch so we could like cut it off, right, Michael?
Yes.
And then let's see what else. Added that bar. That's really hot. I'm not gonna touch that. Added that bar. Skid plate is cut out. Still need to add that. Let's see what else. What else is new? Oh yeah, light bar. Light bar is on. So Michael's also wiring that up. And let's see. Oh yeah, and you can see the ratchet system. This is really cool. Yeah, the horseshoes are in place. Gas tank. Spare tire. You can see how the spare tire pokes through. I folded the metal over so we wouldn't puncture anything. I wanted to be really careful about that. And yeah, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna work on making the toe points all professional. Oh man, I am so stressed. There's only 3 days until we leave, and we still need to paint this thing. But I also need to fix the skid plate still, and we need to replace the strut, or the strut top hat that we broke. Well, we don't have any spare rear suspensions, so hopefully we don't break anything, but I mean, the tires, we're gonna be we're gonna have very low PSI, so hopefully that'll prevent anything from bending and cracking and whatever, because these things are like moon buggy tires, but that was on purpose, just to dampen the load of everything else since we don't have much suspension travel. So here we go. Last time you'll see the car unpainted. In case something happens. There's no way. How do you get started with this whole thing, like building tiny cars, tiny six-wheel drives? Yeah.